everyone. Today I'm actually going to be doing my first book review on this channel because I just finished a series and it was so good that I just have to share about it. So before I get started, please subscribe. It helps me a whole bunch. Now let's get to the action. So I just finished the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. Hope that's how you pronounce her name. And guys, it was just so good. Now, first thing you should know about the series is it's actually 4 books, and then there are 2 mini novellas that are in it, and those books kind of deal with some of the surrounding ideas and other characters from the past that you get to kind of build the world more. But today I'm just going to be focusing on the last book, War Storm. So my first part of this review will be spoiler free. Things you should just know about the series in general. It's amazing writing. She knows how to paint a picture with words. It's not overly complicated. It is a young adult series, but as someone famously said, you don't need big words to have big emotions evoked in the writing. And I think that's really clear in this book because, I mean, I had to look up some of the words, so it's not like remedial by any sense, but it's just so beautiful, and the way she describes what happens inside character psyches is just really good. It also is really LGBTQ inclusive. There are plot points in the book that are kind of related to one character's sexual identity, but that's not the main focus at all. You also have characters that are just casually mentioned to be bisexual. There are some that are gay, and it's just almost, I wouldn't say a throwaway line, but it's just part of their personality. Like, they just say, oh yeah, and they had a crush on this person who happens to be the same gender. And I just thought that was really cool, and it was crazy that I was taken aback by that because that's not very common in today's society still, but we're getting there, and it's just crazy to think of what a novel concept that was. And so it was really cool to see it as just part of the character's personality and just who they were. Another really awesome thing about this book is that it has amazing female empowerment. Now, by that, I don't just mean that you have a character who doesn't need to be saved by anyone. You also have a character who just admits that she doesn't know who she is sometimes. She goes through some really painful things, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and she's just like, yeah, I've done bad things, and I'm in the process of dealing with it. Now, at this point, I'm probably going to get into some spoilers, so if you haven't read the book yet, and you don't want anything to get spoiled, please click away, because it's so good, I don't want anything to get ruined for you. Okay, now that everyone's gone who hasn't read the book, my spoiler part of it about female empowerment is the ending. You have these 2 characters who I was waiting so long to get together with, Mare and Cal, and then they didn't, and I was almost kind of excited about that. At first I was like, oh, that sucks. But then when I thought about it, it's actually really great and poignant ending to have 2 characters who are really recovering from a lot of tough emotional stuff to not be together in the end. They have to figure out who they are now post-war and figure out who they're going to be. What's their day-to-day life going to look like? Are they going to continue trying to free the countries from, Red oppression, or from the Reds being oppressed, Silver oppression? And I think it's really intriguing. You don't get that a lot, I think. I mean, I think a lot of the times when you have the 2 characters not end up together, that's the whole thing. It's like, oh, you thought this ending was going to be happy, but it's not. But in this case, it just seemed really natural. Like, oh yeah, they've been through a lot. Makes sense that they don't really feel like they're ready for a relationship. And it's not even Cal who does that. It's Mare who says that she's not ready for it. And that was like a big deal. You don't have a lot of examples of that, I think, in a lot of literature, young adult or otherwise. So that was really cool. And you also just get that sense that she's really working on herself and doesn't need Cal. But in the end, you also get that little hint of they're probably going to come back together one day. And when they do, they're both going to be emotionally healthy people who are ready for a relationship. And I thought that was a really healthy take on relationships. You don't get that like realistic, oh, you've been through a big trauma. Makes sense that you might want some time to yourself. And I just thought that was really good. I liked that Evangeline got out of the situation. She was like, you know what? I'm done. I gotta go. And that was also really traumatic with her parents when they were like, no, we're not gonna let you leave. And then she had to like basically peace out, and she took her brother and she's gonna go be with her girlfriend. And I thought that was a nice ending. I was satisfied with that ending. As far as the Lakelanders and Iris and all of that, I kind of want a bigger conclusion with that. I get that now they're going to go off and maybe come back. And I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of felt like that was a loose ending. I get that, like, War doesn't have a clean ending, like, okay, everything's done now. But it did kind of feel like, oh, now who knows what's going to happen? You know, are the Lakelanders going to come back? Who are they going to fight? Who are the alliances going to be? And I get that that's, like, part of it, is you don't always get those clear endings. That's not realistic in life. But that was one of those things where I was just like, oh, they're just going to get away and turn around now that the submarines were there. But that was one thing. I liked the ending with Maven and Mare a lot. I think that it was so great that not only do you have her dealing with Silent Stone, which was one of her biggest, internal issues, the emotional abuse and damage from what Maven subjected her to with the Silent Stone. The fact that she overcomes him in a basic prison of Silent Stone was really powerful. And also the fact that it's hand-to-hand combat. Neither of them have their powers. It is as gritty and personal as it can get. I thought that was amazing. And the fact that, she kills him, but you don't get the details. It's kind of just like a blackout almost. I thought that was a kind of cool way to deal with it. When she woke up and she was talking to Cal about what she did, I thought that was really uncomfortable, which is great. You want writing that's going to make you feel things. But it also kind of made me feel like there was something unresolved there too. And again, I understand that's probably the purpose, but it did kind of feel like there was unspoken animosity about the fact that she killed his brother. I wish we would have gotten like a long, drawn out discussion, but maybe that's just not appropriate for the book, or maybe they just didn't think that would be interesting. I don't know. But I did feel like that was kind of like a loose end. Those were the biggest parts. Overall, I think the series is just really great in combining action and, some fantasy elements and nobility and the court with all that. I thought that was really intriguing, like all the nobility parts and the political intrigue mixed with, the romance and the military and the powers. I thought those were all a really good combination. And yeah, I would highly recommend it. I think it was a great way to end the series. I'm excited to see if they make a movie out of it. I think they're in talks with it right now. If you look on IMDb, it does say that there's going to be one with Elizabeth Banks directing it. So I think it's in pre-production right now. They're kind of getting ideas, getting cast together. So yeah, I'm excited about it. So thank you for watching. Again, remember to please subscribe because it helps me a whole bunch. Subscribe.